Okay.
Because as a staffing agency, they should sit down with you and learn what you want. What are you looking for? What's your expected compensation?
A big hello to our recent subscribers. Thank you for letting us know that this is great material that you want to see. We have OG Gaddy, Beast in Media, Tasha Mack, J Official. Thank you so much for hitting that like and subscribe button. We also have some comments I would like to show you that were in the chat on one of my videos. These 3 comments are all about the Geico process and their personality test. You do have to take assessments with certain companies, and they're not easy. You have to understand patterns. There is going to be some math. You also have to be quick on your feet. Some assessments are done virtually, but at a time they were done in person. You see, you do need to be trained and skilled to work this. We're just lucky that there's not a lot of pre-licensing course hours that you have to complete. If you like this information and want more, go ahead and leave a comment below. Now, let's talk to Levy Troop, who is a senior level recruiter. He's going to tell you how hiring has changed and how you can make sure you're best suited and you find a good position quick.
If you need a job and you're coming to an agency, right? You hear a lot of things about recruiters, staffing agencies. It's you have bad apples all over the place. But let me tell you what a good staffing agency will do for you.
Okay.
Now, it will, one, cut your time down. The time that you're looking, the time that you have to worry about if they're going to pay you what you're worth.
Okay.
Because as a staffing agency, they should sit down with you and learn what you want. What are you looking for? What's your expected compensation? What is your CV like? When I say CV, I mean your resume. What is that looking like? So we can have a good understanding of what you want, because it makes it easier. You don't have to haggle about price when it comes to a company. You don't have to worry about trying to go out and put in 50,000.
So wait, let me get this right. You do the negotiation for the employee who needs the job.
Yes.
Okay.
That's one service. That's one
Yep.
service. I also have one where they apply for jobs, and all I do is source them. I make sure that um, they're ready. They know what the job is. They're sourced. They're recruited, and I also write up their contracts
Okay.
with the company itself.
Okay. Okay. So it's actually helping protect them
Oh
too
yeah,
when they use it.
it protects them. It protects them a lot, a lot, a lot.
Okay.
And you also, especially if you want to be a contractor, if you're looking for contract work, go with you also would want to go with a recruiter. It's a lot easier for you. If you're looking
Okay.
for full-time work, you want to get you a recruiter. Also, it's a lot easier if you find the right ones, because they should be able to offer you a lot. All they should do is just call you, hey, I got an interview for you at such and such. Why? Because they've already talked. You already know what you want, the type of job you want, the type of role you want, the compensation you want. There isn't any haggling. It should be a smooth and easy process for both of you.
Oh yeah, it saves time.
Saves time, saves all of that. Business wise, I see, especially since all everything that has happened, a lot of people went remote.
Yeah.
With that happening, I saw the transition. Even before then, your HR department is not in house. Your HR department is actually someone else. Your HR department is me.
Uh-huh.
And so I've replaced the actual HR department. And that's why when I say I'll write up the contracts for them, they outsource their HR. They might have, instead of 14 or 6 recruiters that's working in-house posting up all their jobs, they just have one talent acquisition person that's overseeing other small sourcers, other small recruiters or staffing agencies, and they're
I see.
receiving just the end result. And it's a
Okay.
lot cheaper for them too, because like you said, you go with LinkedIn, it costs them $17,000 to fill that job. Now, as you as a staffer, you can probably do it for, at bare minimum, a quarter of that.
A quarter.
Even if you save him $5,000,
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
if you save
I'm
him
right. I'm looking at this guy because he was just saying he was about to hire somebody to do it for him because it took so much of his time. And
$5.
he as a CPA, his busy
When you
time
run
is
a business, and that's another thing too, people don't they value time differently than
yes,
an average person.
yes,
And when you can, they rather pay that money, and it's cheaper
yeah,
to someone so they can get their time back so they can do other things,
yes.
and for someone like us.
Right. Good, good. I love that. I love that. He actually said he paid somebody to clean his house because like he has to look at the value of his time and like cooking and he gets a trainer because he doesn't want to just go in there into
And
the gym and not have value on his time,
let
which is
can
really
I
great.
reiterate that with you?
Say
Um,
what?
Anybody that's on the call, right?
Hmm.
What she just said,
Hmm.
he values his time. He has someone that comes and cleans his house or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, you as a person, whatever the market is paying you, whatever skill, hobby, or passion that you've had, that you have gotten paid for,
Hmm.
whatever that market value is, because that's your market value. That's what the market is saying that you was worth at that time.
Right.
That's how much your time is worth. So if it costs you 30, it's gonna cost you $30 every 30 minutes to come and clean your house. That's
Right.
$50 an hour. I can pay
Right.
somebody $50 a week and they look
Hmm.
all week.
Right.
They value their time different, where someone else might value like, oh man, he just blowing his money. No,
Exactly.
he's
Yep. Yep. That's
valuing time differently.
exactly. Yeah.
And that just
Yeah.
shows you how you can value your own time too. So you can figure out what your baseline is, because that's also important in your job search. Because
Okay.
you have to have a baseline. You have to know what you bare minimum have to get before you can actually know, okay, but my skills is going to get me X amount. Yeah, I'm worth $25, $30, $40 an hour, but my skills can get me 50.
Okay. Right. 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 Yep. And that's how I see it. Because if I spend an hour cooking and cleaning when I could spend an hour trying to help someone do a resume review, or if I need to be able to help someone find a job, maybe even practice interviews. That's the other place where people fall apart is the interview. They may be great with their resume, then they don't interview poorly. Also, too, here's the worst part. Let's say they do interview well. When they get to the actual job, now it doesn't match up because they actually haven't found ways to understand that the skills that they had are transferable and they're not actually rebuilding on the skills that you had. You mentioned SAP earlier.
That's where a recruiter comes in. A good
Exactly.
recruiter will
Exactly.
tell you from the beginning, it shouldn't even have gotten that far if you didn't have those type of skills to do that specific job.
Yeah, I know, but some people interview very well and they make it look like they can do certain jobs, right? And that's what's the benefits of the employer because we talk to them. Listen, I'm not going to be telling them these things. I'm just seeing if you're a good fit. You may not be a good fit for these other positions, but I may have something else for you.
Something
And I'm
else.
going to give you the best option for you. So employers don't get hit with people who just interview well. And then when they come in and do the position, it turns out they have to let them go within 6 months.
Exactly.
That's something that they don't want. And but if you do get a position, it may be a little bit outside of your expertise. Find ways, as Levy said, to make sure that you use your phone, use your resources like Google to help yourself be able to understand what the job does. Now, one of the positions I recruit for is claims adjusting. You'll be surprised when it comes to it that people don't even know what a claims adjuster is, but they're licensed. And that's scary for a homeowner because you want somebody who is knowledgeable and educated to come out and do these positions. So we wouldn't put you in a place to where you would be trying to interview for a job with SAP when you have no coding or technical experience for what they need, right?
Exactly.
All
That's
right.
not that just wouldn't happen.
Cool. Now let me ask you a question. Do you have any questions for people who might be watching this? Like, listen, um, well, how can they help? How can you help them? Or just out of curiosity, dude, it's just actually us. But I'm just curious as to what questions you might have. I'm gonna take this quick call from my office, so I'll pause it and cut it out later. So a question sometimes I ask, why not? For everybody watching this, why not use a staffing agency? Why not you? Why would you think that it wouldn't work for you? If you feel like you don't have the time to do it, cut off a little of the Netflix. But it doesn't take much to send your resume to us and we take a look at it and see if you're a good fit for one of the positions that we have and just be ready to be interviewing soon.
It's good to have a cheerleader in your corner. You're not in
Yeah.
it by yourself.
Yeah.
That's one thing, is you're not in it by yourself. And it's also, we can vent a lot of the mishaps that it comes with actual onboarding. When it comes to, like she said, when you're going on interviews, you've done well on an interview, but the job isn't really what you thought the job was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yep.
won't happen because
Yep.
you'll be in the best position to win.
Right.
That's what it really benefits. And plus, it doesn't, for you'll come out better letting someone search thousands of jobs for you, then you'll come out trying to search a couple jobs by yourself on top of everything else you got going on.
Right. So I feel like people, it's like, not even why use a staffing agency, why hire a talent acquisition specialist? Why not hire a talent acquisition specialist to go out and actually just help you, just to help you. You get a job search, or you get basically a career coach, when it comes to positions that we have open. But there's some work that you might have to do on your own too, as far as the skill building. There's different courses and programs, again, that you might need to do. I know a lot of people maybe have the entrepreneurial spirit, so they might also better understand once their resume is done, or once some interviewing is done, or once you've had a conversation with either one of us, they can start to understand, just based on business, how this thing works. And if you don't know how it works, it's really hard to get going, or you'll spend a lot of time trying to figure it out.
I would say 90% of all the Fortune 500 companies are not putting out their own ads. Their
Mm,
HR departments are not their own. They're
mm,
not getting resumes directly from them anymore. You're
mm.
getting a resume to someone that's controlling an ATS system like Workday, ICMs, things of that nature. And though that system is seeing that resume before they even get to them, they
Yeah.
all by the time you talk to the company, it's a lot cheaper for them to go that route. So
And part of our program is to help us help you pass the ATS systems. So that's something that's when you have a resume, and you feel like I've applied to how many times have you hear this or seen this applied to 100 jobs and I didn't hear back. That means that resume is not getting through. So that's something that
that's
Levy and
that's as
I
simple as that. The resume isn't getting through. And then once
teach
the
on.
resume actually gets through, you actually have to learn how to interview well. Because if you're doing, especially in the climate these days, a lot of positions are remote. So with that comes its own problems. Those also have to be in place. You have to know what's a good way to present yourself as a candidate when you're interviewing. Don't interview at the McDonald's. You can't go to McDonald's and do a
Yeah.
webcam interview. That's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So that process, how that works, even after that, the actual walking through, if you have any questions, comments, concerns after you go on board with the company, that's what you bring in, that extra hand that's along with you.
Hmm.
The times when you having a couple of problems, you can just pick up a recruiter, pick up that talent acquisition specialist. Usually it's the talent acquisition specialist is the person that you'll be speaking with, because they're walking through you with your whole career journey. It's not a one-time thing. It's,
Right.
hey, call me when they put too much work on you and you just don't know what to do, you're frustrated. Let me see what I can do.
Right, right. Good. I love this. This was phenomenal. But to keep it short, because I got